Oh, okay, all right. Ruth?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you? Shayla Milasodia.
I'm good.
Nice to meet you, Ruth. Thank you for coming. Did you have any trouble finding the place?
Yeah, something like that. I was trying to find the exact place that I was looking for. Yeah.
Okay, well, you made it, and that's what's most important.
Yeah.
So, you are here for the CNA position.
Yeah.
Why are you interested in this position?
Well, since I was a child, I was interested in like medical fields and things that I can work with people like more closely and things like that. I studied in my high school. I studied nursing technician, and then I want to get a job as a CNA, nursing assistant or something like that because of my degree that I took in high school.
Okay. Would this be your first experience outside of your technical experience at school? Would this be your first career position?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, is this in a terminal position for you? Do you see yourself moving up the ranks, or is this what you want to do for the rest of your life?
Well, I said this position because I want to get more experience that I got in high school, and then I can use that experience to work in other things further. And
Okay. So, working as a CNA is all about working closely with others. So, can you talk about a time where you had to work closely with someone whose personality was very different from your own?
oh yeah, when I was doing my clinician practices in my country, oh my god, I have to deal with many different patients, and well, I have to deal with them and work with them, try to make them like to understand their health issues and stuff. It was a really big deal, but then I got it, and then they feel really good working with me.
So, what is your strategy when you notice that someone has a very different mentality than you do? What do you do?
Well, to work with people, you must be like, I don't know, you have to be very patient and things like that, but what I was trying to do at that time was talking slowly and breathing deeply so I can relax, and then they can notice and understand that I'm relaxed too, and then they calm down so we can understand and talk better that way.
Okay. So our interpersonal skills are very important in this field, right? Sometimes it is a matter of life or death, right?
Yeah.
Whether you can get someone to understand what you're saying. Tell me about a time when you needed to get information from someone who wasn't responsive, either emotionally or they had an illness that prevented them from being able to, converse with you freely.
Well, there are so many people that don't like to express their backgrounds and stuff like that, but what you do is, if they don't want to talk, you use like kind of psychological treatments or things like that. So you gave them papers and stuff so they can start writing or drawing things that they want to show you, and then you get it. What they want to say, you get it. And sometimes there are patients that are sexual abused or things like that, so they don't want to say it.
Right.
And because it's so hard to them, but they draw things or write things that you can connect each other, and then you get it.
This would be your first experience within the field in the United States.
Yeah.
Tell me about how you have adapted to the culture in this country and how you believe that it would help you in this profession.
Well, I it was so hard to me at the beginning, but then well, I believe in myself, so I think that I can do the things. The first thing that I have to learn was the American education system, but I have to learn it like quickly in 2 weeks because I was in college and I didn't know anything about the system, so I have to learn it like very quickly. But I think that this really will help me because in my country we work in a different system and things like that. So in this field, it would be really important for me to get this experience so I can work in the future with other experiences.
Do you find that your language or your cultural understandings might present a challenge for you working in this role?
Yeah, because sometimes people, well, I speak English, but sometimes I don't know how to express the things that I want to say, and sometimes people don't understand me, and that is a serious problem because I have to understand them and they have to understand me. But I think that it's a learning process, and if I learn the things that I have to do, and I can make effort to learn it, so I can express better, and so it would be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it sounds like you are prepared for the challenges and you recognize what experiences you already have that can help you. So that's good. Working in this field means that a lot of people are relying on you for many different things. Tell me about a time where you were under a lot of pressure and how you were able to get through that difficult time.
Well, working in this, like, you have many responsibilities because you have people that in different ways are expecting you to the things that you have to do, but sometimes you don't know to do it, or you don't know that you had to do it. And sometimes patients understand that you must do everything that you should know, and it's kind of difficult. But there was a time that I was under a lot of pressure. I had to work with like 5 patients at the same time, but then I have a physician behind me working with them, and then I have other nurses. It was like a lot of pressure, but then I just look at the top of the room and then relax, breathe deeply, and then I just do the thing that I had to do at that time.
Would you say that you perform well under pressure?
Yeah. In this field, we have to perform well under pressure because sometimes we don't sleep the hours that we need and things like that, and we have to do the work because it's more passion than work. So when you do a work that you love, you have to. It's not work anymore, you know.
Oh, I know. That's great. Fantastic. You mentioned that you have to do a lot of things at once in your role. Tell me about how you prioritize based on what is important in that exact moment, and how you decide what is your next step.
Well, if I am working with 5 patients at the same time, I have to go to the one that is like that has more issues, that has more health problems and things like that, because it could happen many things at the same time. So and then when I'm done with him or her, I can go to the other one and things like that. But I have to prioritize the ones who are more vulnerable.
Absolutely. And so it's very necessary that you're able to work under the authority of a doctor or an RN in this position. How do you do when you're asked to follow instructions? Are you good at following instructions?
Yeah, I'm good following instructions because I am the kind of person that I have to take notes of everything, because if I leave it to my mind, I will forget. And in this field, I can't forget anything, so I'm taking notes all the time. And I think that is a important skills that I developed because I'm good. I'm really good following instructions because of that strategy that I take.
So, do you ever have any issues with a figure of authority? Do you ever disagree with, any physicians that you work with, and how do you proceed when you're in complete disagreement with what the doctor is asking you to do?
Well, sometimes when I was doing my practices, I disagree with one because she was doing things that were incorrectly to the patients and things like that. So after she was done doing the things, I just took her apart and asked her the things that she did at that time, and then she explained me, but it wasn't the way that she should do. And so I told her, "Oh, I thought that this was the way," and she said, "Oh yes, you're right. I made a wrong thing," but it was kind of difficult because talk to a person that is higher than you is sometimes difficult.
Absolutely. Well, and some people don't do very well when you give them suggestions, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
some people don't accept the suggestions that you're doing.
Right. Well, it's important, I think, to recognize the value that each person brings, and obviously, those people in higher positions have worked to get there, but that doesn't mean that they're always correct in everything that they do. So I think that it's important to find the balance between, following direction and recognizing leadership, but also, expressing your knowledge and bringing something to the office as well, right? I have just a couple more questions for you. I've heard, and I can see from your resume and your cover letter, that you are a person who likes to do it all. You're a bit of what we would call an overachiever, which is perfect for the health field. Definitely, we want people that care. Tell me about a time, Ruth, that you failed. And what did you do?
Well, there was a time it was so difficult that a physician. I'm good following instruction, but I learned it because the first time I failed, a physician told me to do something, and I didn't. I didn't take the notes of it, so the exact things that he wanted me to do, and then I forgot. I totally forgot that. And it was so important. And then, he came back 15 minutes after, and he started yelling at me. And I felt so bad about it, but I told him, oh, okay, it was so important, but I forgot. I'm human too, and sometimes you forget things and you can't do anything. So he said, oh yeah, you're right, it's okay. But hopefully nothing really important happens. You can do it right now. Oh, it's okay, I will do it. But it was because, and then since that day, I always take notes because, but it was, I felt really bad about it, but then I'm good.
Yeah, and so I guess I have to ask you, taking notes seems to be one of the most important strategies that you use in this field. What happens if you can't take notes?
Well, there are some times that I cannot take notes because we are so busy, or we have to multitask and things like that, and I have to memorize things. Because sometimes I cannot have papers and pens in my hand because I'm doing other things, and I have to be I have to focus more on the things and then memorize. I use the strategy that I memorize keywords
Okay.
and then put it together in the same sentence, and then I will go with them.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. That's a good tactic. My last question for you is a double-sided question. I'd like to know, and you can take a minute to think. I'd like to know what you feel your greatest strengths are as a candidate for this position, and what are your weaknesses?
Well, I think like for my great strengths are that I'm good following instructions, and when I don't know something, I can express that I don't know. So people of a higher position can explain to me, so I can not make mistakes to patients, because this is so important. And one of my weaknesses is that sometimes I have memory problems and I don't remember things. But then as I explained you before, when I have time, I can take notes, or for as memory techniques, I take like building sentences or keywords that can remember me the things that I was talking about.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. I have another 3 applicants for this same position, so not to put a lot of pressure on you, but I really appreciate you taking the time and coming and talking to me so openly and honestly. I know it's difficult to say what you feel your weaknesses are, but weaknesses don't have to remain as such as long as you have a plan to better yourself in those areas, right? And it seems like you're doing exactly that. So I will be in touch within the next probably 4 days or so, by the end of this week, and potentially we could schedule another time to sit down and really talk a bit more in depth about what's required of the position. But thank you. All right. Thank you so much. And you can just leave a copy of your resume for me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Don't forget to keep in touch with me. There's a copy of my resume.
Ah, okay.
Thank you.